Previously on the Rod Pedersen Show.
Evander Kane should be banned or not for life? I say yes.
I say not yet. We don't really know.
Okay,
it's not
if
investigated.
proven guilty.
If he was betting on his games, yeah, probably. And
Yeah.
I don't know if banned for life, but I think you ban him for a certain number, 5 years. If you ban him for a year, 2 years, doesn't matter because his career is over. Mm-hmm. If you ban him for a year or 2 years, his career is done. So it's the same as a life sentence in hockey terms.
Yep.
I don't like the idea of a life sentence because I think we can all overcome and change and rehabilitate.
He's had a lot of strikes, Darren.
He has, but I probably ban him for 5 years, and that's enough to put his career.
Hey, can we get the trash talk going from Jeff, the Stamps fan?
Oh, yeah.
He writes in, he says, just got back from McMahon Stadium, picked up the 75th anniversary jersey. The old girl is looking shiny and ready for another season. Can you say lipstick on a pig? I heard that on the weekend, actually, lipstick on a pig, and I'm like, is this offensive in any way? You'd have to ask the pig.
Yes, you would.
Yeah, like, can I say this? Disney's Jungle Cruise, we went to it Saturday night, and The Rock, I don't want to be a plot spoiler. Let's just say The Rock he was on the mic and he's telling jokes, and he's like, I used to date a girl. She was cross-eyed, but we had to break up because we couldn't see eye to eye. And then he goes, and I had a feeling she was seeing somebody on the side. I thought, this is a kid's movie. This is horrible.
Spicy.
The Rock doesn't care. What are you going to do to The Rock?
Disney movie, yeah.
Get ready for the Rod Pedersen Show.
Canada versus Sweden for Olympic women's soccer gold. I haven't quite figured this out yet. Friday night, they say, and I'm like, if you think that they're on the same clock, you're going to miss the game.
How about that?
I'm believing it's 2 a.m. Mountain. That's what I'm planning on for this gold medal game. Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
We got 2 days to figure this out. I'm not sure any of us are the brightest bulb in the package, but together, we can light a whole room.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey! Happy, what day is it?
I know.
Wednesday, everybody.
I know.
August the 4th. I was doing my thing. What was the intro? What was it? Is that what you were laughing at?
Yeah.
I wasn't even listening.
Not the brightest bulb in the package, but together we can light up the room.
Did you write that down? We got Alan, the intern, over there. He's eating donuts, not paying attention. Like the wisdom that I drop here on a daily basis, I feel like it's being wasted on you people.
I know.
These guys aren't even paying it. Oh, you got it. Okay.
How about
thanks.
that?
Now they're awake back there. Yeah, it is Canada's daytime sports talk show. I welcome you into the program, and I like that everybody is saying good morning. Dylan Spicer says, good day from Cole Harbour, Nova Scotia. Is that the home of Sidney Crosby? Sid home for the summer? Do these NHL guys go home in the summer? Not as much as they used to, you know.
That's right.
We check it in from Victoria, Saratoga, New York. On the program today, this is amazing. Jim Clubberlang, Canada's foremost expert on the National Football League, is going to be with us. The commissioner of the National Lacrosse League, Nick Sakiewicz, who's become a close friend of ours. He's a cool dude, by the way. And what's the TLL stand for, Clark? Tewaaraton Lacrosse League. Okay. To me, it's new. So they got a big... Here, drop my pen. They got a big announcement here. They've made it. They're going to come on and explain it. But the commissioner of the TLL, his name is Louis Staats. What a name.
I know.
Louis Staats. It's like Louis Litt, but better.
Yeah. What a handle.
Yeah.
For a sports commissioner.
I think it's the greatest thing ever.
It is awesome.
So they're coming up in hour 2 of the program today. And by the way, for those that were watching on the streaming, we do now a little pre-roll, a little 3-minute highlight clip, sort of like going to the movies. And the pre-show there, for those watching on Game Plus TV, you don't get to see it. But we were talking about The Rock and some of his somewhat off-color comments in the movie Disney's Jungle Cruise. And so I had said, he said, I dated a girl that was cross-eyed, but we had to break up because we couldn't see eye to eye. And I think she was seeing somebody on the side. It's supposed to be a kids' movie. What if these kids went to school on Monday and started saying that? They'd be suspended. And you pointed out a couple more.
Well, yeah, he's like, used to work at the orange juice factory, but I got canned. Couldn't concentrate. They squeezed me out.
Right. It was so good.
It was great. So many fun puns.
I love this. Okay, let's get serious. First, Wendell Weeb, watching on Facebook, says, love you guys, love the show, love the Riders, but they'll be last in the West this year.
Ooh.
Spicy.
Hang on. Spicy. Riley Clement on YouTube, can't believe the CFL starts tomorrow, so just so happy the league has pulled through and sorted things out. Yeah. Nashville Bobowski says, Rod, we are almost there. CFL football, baby. Yeah, they're revved. Jacques Dupuis says, good afternoon from Ottawa. Yes, buenos dias from Ottawa. Let's get to the Quick Six show topics, please, Director Jordan. We are going to start with the National Football League, by the way, because there's some interesting things going on there, by the way. And now that I got him in tune to watching ESPN every morning, you probably know what I'm going to talk about. In Chicago, Justin Fields is lighting up Bears camp, okay? What did he go? 12th? Alan, 12th, right? The OSU quarterback. You know all the quarterbacks that went ahead of him?
Mm-hmm.
Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Trey Lance. None of those, well, Zach Wilson's going to start with the Jets. Trevor Lawrence is going to start in Jacksonville, but that doesn't mean they're going to be good.
Right.
Justin Fields is lighting it up in Chicago, and while they got Andy Dalton there as the safety valve, this kid is lighting it up. Oh, and by the way, who's his quarterback coach? A guy by the name of Henry Burris.
How about that?
Right, Justin Fields lighting it up in Chicago. Matt Stafford was injured. Everybody's took a deep breath in L.A. because he cracked his finger off a helmet on, what's today, Wednesday? Monday, he left the field. But he did come out and participate fully on Tuesday. But, I mean, you make a trade like that? Was it Jared Goff and how many first-round picks? 3?
I know, it was a big price tag.
And then this?
Yeah.
And then the brawl in Giants camp, by the way, wasn't because somebody hit the quarterback. It was a late hit on the running back. Daniel Jones ended up on the bottom of the pile, but they didn't hit the quarterback late. But you know what? That's what the story was yesterday. Mm-hmm. It was still a late hit, but it wasn't on the quarterback. And now the other one is that Phillip Rivers is considering coming out of retirement with the Indianapolis Colts. And we fiddled and farted around so much here in our pre-show meeting that we didn't even get to a poll question. So I want to ask you people what you think would be an appropriate poll question, whether it be you write in via Facebook or YouTube, or you can text us on the Prairie Mobile text line. Whatever. What do you think? Because we're trying to think, who should the Colts go and get as a quarterback? Who do you think, Alan? Nick Foles. He says Nick Foles. Phillip Rivers. We could do a poll of that. You're on the right track, son. 2 more names and we got a poll here. Actually, 1 more name and then we would say other.
We could say other.
What would be a good poll question, okay, for the National Football League? Now, moving on. CFL announces its COVID cancellation policy yesterday, and we got a statement in our inbox here. I don't know how you feel about what it is, Darren, but it's the exact same as the NFL, and I like it. Mm-hmm. If there's a COVID outbreak on any given team and they have to forfeit a game, they're going to get a loss. And if 85% of their players aren't vaccinated, the players aren't getting paid either. And if both teams have a COVID outbreak and they can't play, both teams get a loss, which will really cause a real dog's breakfast in the standings, but they don't care. And as Craig Dickinson, the head coach of the Rough Riders, said, they're not fooling around. So we could sit and debate and kick around, is it fair that they're doing this and you're not going to get paid if you don't get vaccinated? I think that we're past that. How many days are we into COVID? 550 or something? I don't know. I don't want to have the vaccination debate. I'll tell you that I'm double vaccinated. I'll tell them that you're double vaccinated, but that's just us. I'm not telling anybody to get vaccinated. But in the CFL, they're doing legally what's within their parameters to say get vaccinated or you're not going to be paid. You're probably not going to play. And I have no problem with it, by the way, with what the CFL's done. I'm actually applauding them. They didn't just rip off what the NFL's doing. The work that's gone into this is unconscionable for them to play to get to this point.
Yeah.
And I like what they've done.
And guess
How about
what?
you?
If the NFL came up with this model and they want teams to be 85% vaccinated to get to that threshold, and if an unvaccinated player causes a breakout that leads to a game being postponed or canceled, they get the forfeit and don't get paid. If it's a good model, who cares if the CFL ripped it off, copied it, or not? They're doing what they think is right, and I think it's a good model. I think, is there 2 or 3 teams in the Canadian Football League that aren't at an 85% vaccination threshold?
The Rough Riders are one of them.
The Riders are one of them. This might push teams the last second or players to go get vaccinated, or it'll push them, if they're not vaccinated, to be more careful, right? And to make sure that they're doing what they need to do to not, transfer and spread the virus. So I think it's a good thing. I really do. And we have to keep the season moving. We can't go into these delays of postponing games. Now we've got a clear rule. If it's decisive. If there's no games, if COVID's a problem, it's a forfeit.
By the way, to the comments from the viewers, I like these kind of comments. Tyler Fabry's watching on YouTube, and he says, "Good morning, Rod. I recently discovered your show and absolutely love your coverage of Canadian football. Do you have any opinions on the CFL top 50 list from last night?" Well, full disclosure, I didn't watch the TSN special. I was watching the Blue Jays kick Cleveland's ass. But I did see today that Brandon Banks was number 1 overall, and I don't know who was behind that. Was my guy Cody Fajardo in the top 5? Can anybody tell me? Do you know who the top 50 were, even the top 5 were?
On the spot.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I wasn't watching it. I was watching Canada's team, the Toronto Blue Jays.
And I was on the Olympics.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
There's so much going on. There's a buffet. Listen, man, I was having coffee with a guy yesterday who said, the poor CFL can't catch a break. Ticats Bombers on opening night. They're going up against Canada, Sweden in the soccer gold medal game for the women. I'm like, I never even thought about that. There's a lot more going on. So, see, Jeff Stamp says Bo Levi Mitchell was number 2.
I'll give you the top 10.
Let's hear him.
I believe this is recent. Brandon Banks, number 1. Brandon Banks, number 1. Bo Levi Mitchell, number 2. Willie Jefferson, number 3. Brian Burnham, number 4. Andrew Harris, 5. Mike Riley, 6. Cody Fajardo, 7. Trevor Harris, 8. And Stanley Bryant, 9. Simone Lawrence, number 10.
My buddy.
Charleston Hughes, William Stanbeck, and Jagera Davis are just on the outside of the top 10.
Charleston Hughes didn't make it?
11.
And by the way,
11.
What do I think? It's opinion. Cody Fajardo was the most outstanding player for the West Division last year. It came down to 2 guys, Brandon Banks and Cody Fajardo. How's he not number 2? So whatever. It's subjective. I don't get too wound up on this, but I'll say this about the Week 1 games. This is what I don't understand, and where we could we get a little noise around here? I feel like Happy Gilmore, right, when he's rallying everybody on the tee box. Charleston Hughes is going into Calgary with the Toronto Argonauts. This is like, to me, J.J. Watt going back into Houston with the Arizona Cardinals. Where's the hype?
I know.
But, come on, Calgary. Can somebody lob a grenade?
Well,
no, you don't want to do that. So,
if you want just to distribute that top 50 list, 11 Hamilton Tiger Cats, 7 Riders and 7 Bombers, 6 Stamps, 6 Owls, 4 Argos, 4 Elks, and 4 Lions, and 1 lone Ottawa Red Black.
I'm just saying, I voted for Toronto at Calgary for the game of the week, and I'm not joking because of these storylines. Bo Levi Mitchell, how healthy is he going to be? Nick Fatty Arbuckle's returned to McMahon. Nobody seems to care but me. So I guess that's a me problem. But thank you for the question. Jeff Kibilis watching in Winnipeg says, I'll be at the game tomorrow. I'll have my phone catching the soccer game and a beer and a burger in the other hand. Life's about choices. And it's not good for the CFL that they're up against that game, but let's get some marketing going. Let's get some hype going and give people a reason to watch. Not just the fact that, we got a game going on here. But who am I?
Right.
Point 3, the Toronto Blue Jays, as mentioned, spanked Cleveland last night 7-2. George Springer was hot. You see our guy, Sean McCormick, was at the game. Did you watch his Instagram? Got to follow this guy, Sean McCormick. He's a big cheese there at Game Plus Television in downtown Toronto. He was sitting down the third base line, and he talked about George Springer.
Finger guns.
The finger guns. you understand people are getting into the Toronto Blue Jays as well. They've won 4 out of 5 since going back to Rogers Centre. They're 7 games out. They're hot. I can't believe that Hyun Jin Ryu, which, by the way, Buck, we affectionately refer to Buck Martinez by his first name because we feel like he's part of the family.
Yeah.
I've never met him, but he says Hyun Jin Ryu. But the Sports Center anchors today were saying Hyun Jin Ryu. I don't care. The guy's a baller. But I can't believe that was his first home start.
Yeah. Isn't that wild?
That was very wild.
Very, very wild. But you know what? It's good. And Jays are looking pretty good at home. So let's ride it, right? Let's let Springer do his finger guns. Let's let, Hyun or Hyun Jin Ryu do his thing.
However you say it.
We'll be fine.
Just watch. So, and by the way, the Blue Jays got Cleveland again tonight. We'll get to as many of your comments as we can. However, I have to institute a rule here as viewership goes up. If I read your comment one time, I might not come back to you that day because there's a lot of people watching. Right. Point 4, an Olympic update. Twitter went off this morning. Canada's Andre de Grasse raced to gold in the men's 200 meters at the Tokyo Olympics. De Grasse roared to the finish line in a Canadian record time of 19.62 seconds. So this was going on this morning. I wrote down the medal totals, Darren, and I had to scribble them out as this was going on. I've got USA leading at 77. Does that sound right?
Yeah, I think it's up to 79.
Yeah, it's like things move fast.
Really quick.
China 70?
Yeah. But
when I was looking this morning, and then Canada was 14. De Grasse makes it 15. And what was our over-under, 22?
Yeah, 22 and a half.
Well, we're going to get a medal for sure in women's soccer no matter what. 20.5?
Yes, thanks,
That's
Clark.
what Clark's saying. Well, this is interesting. From a few of our viewers.
Yeah.
Todd Pinkley says, both Canada and Sweden have asked to have the game time changed due to excessive heat. Supposed to be 48 with the humidex. Well, isn't that something? How about that?
Yeah, they'll be in the early afternoon heat because it's 11 a.m. start, Tokyo time. It happened in tennis. They moved matches around. The problem is they have these events at the track and the field all scheduled around TV time. So there's only so much they can push it later in the day because there's other events happening later on in the late afternoon or early evening on the track. So
can I interject for a second?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. This is why I'm hosting the show and why you're watching. Because Wayne in Victoria has just written in and said, I think Cody has to win a Grey Cup to be considered an elite quarterback. I don't necessarily agree with that, but TSN won't put him number 1. And then his comment slipped off the screen. Won't put him number 1. Where the hell did it go?
there you go. On the top
Won't put
50.
him number 1 on the top 50 until he wins a Grey. It's not a Hall of Fame discussion. Brandon Banks hasn't won a Grey Cup. He was just listed the number 1 player in the Canadian Football League. Like, I love you, Wayne. You watch every day. And I appreciate you chiming in with your opinion, but that's not what they're debating here. They're about who's the greatest 50 players in the CFL right now. Brandon Banks doesn't have a Grey Cup. Why am I getting so heated so early in the day? Just sit back, enjoy, and let us do the talking. By the way, the warm-up is brought to you by Ecol Electric. Where the heck is it? Visit the new Regina Data and Lighting Center. Ecol Electric. Let's get to work. Not like I can't remember that.
That's right.
But let's just pay attention to what we're talking about on a day-by-day basis. This is not a Hall of Fame debate. It's about the top 50. And a couple more. Yeah, come check out our new Regina Data and Lighting Center. Ecol Electric. Let's get to work. Number 5, Brooke Henderson, 3 over, 74 yesterday after round 1. I would get your take, but we're late for time here. We're going to have to go. That was after round 1 at the Olympics, but...
Fighting the putter.
Yes, and point 6, how about Cole Sillinger, pots 4 for whatever team he's on, Red, or actually it was Team Dick at the Hockey Canada Summer Showcase. And it's funny because... he didn't play in the World Under-18s because he was in COVID protocol. This is the first-round pick of the Columbus Blue Jackets. But as his dad told me the last time I talked to him, and I can't even remember where I saw him, might have been in Swifty at that draft we were at, but he said, I said, oh, is Cole over the COVID? He's like, he never had COVID. I'm like, well, he was in the COVID protocol in Texas. Yeah, but he never had it. Here we go again with I don't understand this. But he lit it up at the summer showcase. And by the way, is TSN's either live streaming or going live to those practices. Yeah. Welcome to Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Where we will televise a practice for the World Junior team in August. And if you watched, Cole Sillinger's lighting it up. Anyways, Jim Clubber-Lang joining us next. Thanks for joining us today for Canada's daytime sports talk show. You're watching on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions is Saskatchewan's only full-service supply chain company. Strategic sourcing, PO creation, and order expediting, VMI and vending solutions, and free delivery are just a few of the supply chain services we provide. If your company needs it, Rockstar Supply Chain Solutions can get it for you. Price, quality, service, Rockstar Supply Chain Solution is helping Saskatchewan companies buy better.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Capital is Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalfordlincoln.com to see how we roll and to learn about what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's what you get when you choose Capital Ford Lincoln, Regina's trusted Ford Lincoln dealership.
Business owners and marketers. Okay, we know you think we're pretty cool. That's why we want you to share in the coolness factor. Partner with the Rod Pedersen Show and market your business every weekday to sports lovers just like yourself. Take advantage of our many cost-effective commercial and promotional opportunities. Tell the world about your business. Yes, the world. Thanks to Game Plus TV and the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. Contact us today and find out how you can be a part of Canada's fastest-growing sports talk show, The Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, honey, can you get one of the kids to show me how this Twitter thing works? Honey, I need to get on Instagram. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. Just a couple of comments. Everybody's excited about football. Doug McKell writing in. Longtime high school football coach says, so happy to be able to watch football again. CFL, CIS, junior, high school, and minor. Gonna watch them all. And we got the NFL coming up here, too. But I got to say this. With the COVID cancellation policy the CFL announced yesterday, similar to the NFL's, Chris in the 905 writes in, Southern Ontario, says, "Hi, Rod. If I missed this, I apologize, but who repays fans tickets for a cancellation? It seems an easy answer if the home team's responsible for cancellation, but if it's the away team, do they repay the home team for lost tickets and revenue? Love the show. Cheers, Chris." I'm not Ticketmaster. Do I look like Ticketmaster? That would be my thing. Call the teams. You might have a quick answer before we go to Jim Lang. I don't know.
Home team refunds the money. They got the money. There's no game to deliver.
So they refund
Unfortunately,
the money.
It's a situation of that's too bad that you lost the revenue.
That's kind of it. That's
Unfortunately.
it. Okay, I'll get to your comments. We got Craig in Calgary. We got Ray in the 6. But let's bring him in now. Jim Lang. It's been far too long. I will say Happy New Year to him because the NFL is in camp. How you doing, Jimbo?
Good, Rod. Good, Darren. How are you doing, boys?
We're doing good. I think we came up with a poll question, and thanks a lot to Alan, our intern, for some of the options here. Who, and I haven't tweeted it yet, but who should the Colts sign or acquire to replace Carson Wentz, right? Phillip Rivers, Nick Foles, Joe Flacco, or other. What do you think, man? The devastation in Indy with Carson Wentz going down.
Well, Carson Wentz going down, and their best offensive lineman, arguably the best interior lineman in the NFL, Quentin Nelson, had the same surgery the next day. So he's out as well. I would go for Nick Foles in a heartbeat because Frank Reich has he's got a history with him. Gardner Minshew has been mentioned because basically, unless Trevor Lawrence completely screws up camp, they are building the future with Trevor Lawrence as their quarterback, and Gardner Minshew is kind of on the outside looking in, so maybe the Jaguars could parlay that into something. But for the Colts, this is the worst possible thing. Now, Carson Wentz has had some injury issues over the last couple of years, but to have an issue like this with surgery, and they give a very broad range of when he's back, 5 to 12 weeks, meaning is he back after week 2 or is he back after the end of October? So for the Colts and looking at their early schedule, they have got to do something and come up with a plan B right now. In a very, very tough division with a Titans team that is as legit as you can find in the AFC. And so, yeah, I can't see that they just hey, we'll just wait till he gets back. That would be ludicrous to me.
From our content creator, Nelson Vo, watching in the Bridge City, he says, Marcus Mariota, you as the Raiders fan, what do you think about his availability via trade?
I wouldn't say he's available. I'm not sure that the Raiders organization, their coaching staff, and John Gruden would have him available because I am not convinced that Carr and Gruden are together long term. So in Marcus Mariota, if I'm the Colts, would be a great fit. But if I'm the Raiders, I'm not so eager to get rid of him. And who knows how much we may be hearing a lot more of him in Oakland / Vegas / Raiderland / wherever they want to call home. But the Raiders will be, I'm going to expect to see him get some snaps and some game time, some playing time before this year is over. And I'm not sure if they know yet his future with the Raiders organization.
Where do you want to go with this, Jim? Because I got a lot of, I got another one and then whatever you want to talk about. But they say Justin Fields. Are you following this? That he's lighting it up in Chicago, way ahead of where they projected he would be. And there's chance. Well, right now, Andy Dalton's number 1, but they say don't be surprised if Justin Fields is starting in week 1 for the Bears.
And here's the great thing about Fields. He's doing and saying all the right things. He's being respectful for the veteran quarterback. He's respectful to the coaching staff, putting it in their hands. He's going out and impressing the veteran teammates by playing and performing and getting it done. So, and what's happening with Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence and Trey Lance in the 49ers camp and some of the other young quarterbacks ties into the big problem in the NFL right now is vaccinations and the Vikings' issues at quarterback and Kirk Cousins and Lamar Jackson with the Ravens. Now, Mike Zimmer was almost in tears the other day in his media conference. He had one quarterback to work with in camp, one, because the rest of them don't have vaccinations and they're in the NFL COVID protocol. And he's like, I can't get ready for the season. It's not just the quarterbacks have to get ready. What about the receiving core? What about the O-line? What about getting his defense ready? And so this is a major problem in the NFL. And you guys talked about the CFL policy. In the NFL policy, the team responsible for a forfeited game because of a COVID outbreak cover financial losses. Now, if you're asking me, when it says cover financial losses, that means if I'm a ticket holder and the game's canceled, the team responsible for the outbreak is paying for my ticket. So there's a lot at play here. So young quarterbacks like a Trey Lance and a Justin Fields. Trey Lance made a 50-yard bomb in quarterback for the 49ers yesterday. And you're like, wow, I mean, he looked good. He looked really comfortable there. Justin Fields has looked very good. But more importantly, it's how they've carried themselves, how they've acted with their teammates, how they've respected the coaches. They're not saying, hey, I should be number one. They're just doing their thing and let their play talk. And we talk about this in sports. In hockey, it's a young man's game, young stars. In young stars in the NFL, this is a great crop of great young quarterbacks coming up through the system. And if you look at the Jaguars and the 49ers and the Bears, they're looking at their respective young quarterbacks as the foundation for the next decade. And Joe Burrow in Cincinnati when he's healthy, and Justin Herbert, the Chargers, it's a lot of young quarterbacks about to take the mantle when a lot of the older ones start moving on.
Jim, I really like your haircut, by the way. Let me throw that in there. Who cuts your hair?
Oh, thank you. My man, it's a new barber shop in Main Street in Newmarket, and they have like the old chalkboard and stuff like that. So my wife had been doing it, but even she admitted she was worried she was going to screw it up. So I went and got it done the other day.
I like it. Looks good. Okay, so those were my things, the Colts quarterback and Justin Fields.
Yeah.
What's caught your mind here through a little over a week of training camp?
I'm really impressed by Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Washington football team. An older quarterback, but a steady hand with the offense. Their defense is so good. They need a caretaker of the offense. They don't need him to be Patrick Mahomes. And why there's all this drama going around with Lamar Jackson and the Ravens and Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. And are they going to be in camp? Can they get ready? I'm looking at Chiefs camp and Mahomes and Buccaneers camp and Brady. The reason why they're 1-1A is the best in the league. They're in camp on time, getting reps, getting everyone comfortable, getting new players comfortable with the offense because they know the work done now in the dog days of early August pays dividends when they get to mid-January and they start the playoffs. And it's so competitive in the National Football League, and the margin for error is so thin. You have to be in camp. You have to get that repetition. I mean, you think about the elite athletes in the National Football League, as good as they are, they're still doing fundamental basic drills every day in camp because that's what it comes down to. So there's a reason why certain players and certain quarterbacks are viewed as leaders, not just with their performance, but their attitude, how they approach practice, how they approach work, how they integrate with the rest of the team. Because right now, if I'm a Viking, okay, it's 90 degrees Fahrenheit with the humidity. I'm working my butt off, and my quarterback, who's making a $66 million contract for 2 years, guaranteed, is not here with me working because he doesn't want to get vaccinated. There are a lot of people I know, and people I know personally, who have never gotten a vaccine, but they got a COVID vaccine because their work required it. Okay, not just for them, but for their team at work. So they did it. And so this is being selfish to me for Kirk Cousins. He's putting him above the team, above Mike Zimmer, above his teammates and the Vikings because he doesn't want to get a COVID vaccine. And forget about the fact that they could potentially cause a forfeit of a game and all the financial problems that would go with it for the Vikings. It's just being selfish to the team as they get ready for the season.
Jim, the big topic, one of the big topics was the Brawl and Giants camp yesterday. Yeah, and so Joe Judge, I've never seen this before, that a coach stops. Yeah, he stopped practice, made him run gassers and stuff, and then they never started again. You saw his explanation. He's like, you can't do it in a game, so why would I let you do it in practice? What does that say about the early stages of the Joe Judge regime in New York?
Now, let me put it this way. Players who are on the fringe will do anything to make an NFL team. So I get that some players cross the line and maybe did something because they're thinking if I lay a guy out, make a big hit, it looks good in film when the coaches look at it. And maybe, just maybe, that's the difference between not making the NFL and making the National Football League. Now, what he did when you hit a guy in the head, he's laid out, okay, that's going over the line. But then Joe Judge pulls a college move and has him run the Herb Brooks gassers goal line to goal line. and then pulls them over to the far corner away from everybody. No other assistant coaches were allowed. It was just Joe Judge and all the players. Now, whether or not that brings the Giants together and gets them together, I don't know. But, the start of preseason games, the Hall of Fame game tomorrow, where you're actually hitting people from other teams and you're practicing against people from other teams, that's a good thing, because sometimes it gets to a point in camp, you get sick of each other, and these things happen. Fights happen, brawls happen. I can go through video of every camp in the last 50 years in the NFL. At one point in camp before the preseason started, someone just got upset and couldn't take it, and they started chucking knuckles. And it does happen. Now, what happened with the Giants was extreme, I will say that. But, yeah, we shouldn't be too shocked, because players who are on the bubble and desperate, depending on their position, they will do anything to make that football team to get an NFL paycheck.
By the way, people are talking about the CFL power rankings. I'm going to come back and talk about those next segment, because we got Canada's foremost NFL expert with us, Jim Lang. But Ryan McCarthy's watching in Saratoga, New York. He says they ran sprints, and Joe Judge was so dissatisfied with their effort, he made them do push-ups and then ended practice. So there's that.
I forgot about the push-ups. Yeah.
Right. Gary Fleming's watching on Facebook. He says, who in their right mind is going to watch the NFL Hall of Fame game over the CFL opener? Nobody. Hello. Dallas Cowboys fan right here. So I'll be going back and forth between Canton, Winnipeg, and the women's soccer game, depending on when they start it. Randolph Zora's watching in Ontario. He says, has the NFL mandated the jab for their players? How would you answer that? They've incentivized those who have gotten vaccinated, Jim, is the way I would put it. How would you put it?
That's a great way to put it. And they have done it without actually saying it. When they're telling you that if something happens as a COVID outbreak, and they list all these punitive damages, and you're punished to such the nth degree, because the NFL has determined that they're going to play 17 games over 18 weeks. Like, the regular season is going to wrap up on January 8th, 9th. That's the last week of the season. Then they're going to start the playoffs. And the league has said to any team, we are not altering the schedule. That's the schedule. So if you're responsible for a COVID outbreak that affects both teams, and the crazy thing is, so a player on my team causes a COVID outbreak, we forfeit. It's not just my team that lose their game check, it's the opposing team as well. So that's the NFL and Roger Goodell, saying to the league, you better get your vaccine, because if something happens during the season, we've sent a memo out to every team of the league. This is what's going to happen. So that's them saying get the vaccine without them saying you have to get the vaccine. You want to talk about the ultimate passive-aggressive move? The NFL has done it this year.
No doubt whatsoever. Hey, just lastly, before we go, they tell me we got 2 minutes. Olympics. Okay. What's gathered your attention the most?
I've been loving all of it. I'm really loving Damian Warner and the decathlon, especially, and you guys were talking earlier about the heat and humidity, and depending on the time of the day, the decathletes are performing when it's 45 with the humidex at the Tokyo Stadium. But Andre de Grasse, I can't say enough of him. I've gotten to know him a few years working at the radio station I do in York Region in the Markham area and Vaughan, north of Toronto. He's a great young guy. I'm going to tell you a quick little anecdote about him. After Rio, I emceed an event where they named a street after him in Markham. And there's a lot of people and photographers, and a man came up with a 6-year-old daughter and he said to me, hey, could I get a photo with my daughter and Andre? And I said, Andre, this little girl would like a photo with you. Now, he's on a stage and she's down. He could have just did the lean down and did the photo. He goes, no, here, pick her up. The dad picks her up. Andre gets down, takes the photo, puts her arm around her. The girl's eyes were this big. She was like, this is like Elsa from Frozen. I got a photo of Andre de Grasse. He is still a humble kid from Markham who didn't start running competitively until grade 12 and has not forgotten about who he is and what he is and where he's from. And I just couldn't be happier for him, because I know all the work he's put in. He's overcome some injuries. And that race he ran this morning to win the 200 was nothing short of brilliant.
Well, it has been fun, and we're hitting a fun, as we move towards the weekend, some really big events. But congratulations to Andre for this morning. Jim, wonderful, man. Let's do it again soon, and look forward to your columns. Always good to see you. Thanks for the time today.
Loving it.
All right. Jim Lang, Canada's foremost NFL expert, joining us from the Big Smoke here on this Wednesday. We got a lot of questions that have come in about the National Football League, CFL. Seems like it's a football time of year. And we will get to that in a sports update when we come back. It's a Wednesday. You're watching Canada's daytime sports talk show on the Game Plus television network, YouTube and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds, full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade and Allowance program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
At Capital GMC, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital GMC, we'll buy it.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Did you know you can catch all the best moments from the show on all our social media platforms? Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. It is the RP Show. We got breaking news, not just from you, Moose. Is yours from the Winnipeg?
Yes.
Mine, too. Do you want to break the news?
Sure. The Blue Bombers have ruled out both Andrew Harris and starting receiver Darvin Adams for Week 1.
Oh, boy.
So they'll be without Darvin Adams and the Grey Cup MVP Andrew Harris in their Week 1 game against Hamilton.
How about that?
Oh.
Not a good start to the week for Winnipeg.
You see how this affects betting.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so the notification I got was from the Score.
That's where I got it, too.
Mine only says, Bombers rule out former Grey Cup MVP versus Ticats due to calf injury. What are they saying about Darvin Adams?
And I opened up, it's a shoulder for Darvin Adams. I opened up the story, and they had more, which included the Adams news. So they've both been ruled out for Week 1.
Well, okay. And so that's what we love about daytime sports talk. I got to be honest with you. Yes, I used to watch SportsCenter 12 times in a row in the morning. But why would you now when you got this?
Yeah.
Right? In breaking news. Again, Andrew Harris and Darvin Adams ruled out for the Week 1 game for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. And Bomber fans watching, Trevor Bazzillo in Winnipeg says how the Bombers aren't number 1 after being the champs is disrespectful. At least for the first week. He's talking about the power rankings. And can I advise you people a little bit? Take a chill pill, chillax, go for a walk. You're in Winnipeg. Go down to 7-Eleven and get a Slurpee, man. Like, don't get worked up over the power rankings. Who cares? In August. Is it just me?
Well, power rankings, you have to remember, are not standings. Power rankings are a way of saying who's the best right now. And if we played number 1 against number 2, number 1 would win. If we played 4 against 5, 4 would likely win. You know, if we looked at going into that Grey Cup, Hamilton was favored, were they not, against Winnipeg? Right? They came in as the best team in the Canadian Football League last year. So they would be higher in the power rankings, of course. It doesn't mean that, you know, Winnipeg didn't have this really great finish to the year and win.
Yeah.
But power rankings, we get hung up on that too much.
I don't at all. But Calgary Stampeders ranked 6th. How do you think that's going over in Calgary? I don't see them whining about it at all. James in Borden, Manitoba says, too bad the Bombers are riddled with injuries. 2 years away from the game is a lot for players, and their bodies are feeling it. I don't think there's any doubt about that. Now from Kelly Bale on Cleveland. Well, and by the way, everybody's in the same boat. That's what we heard about hockey last year. It's not like one team was playing and all others weren't. They're all in the same boat in the Canadian Football League. Kelly Bale says, I'd like you guys to discuss at some point for Chris Moen and I. That's his buddy, one of 2 Cleveland Browns fans that I know. He says, how many wins will the Cleveland Browns have in 2021? See, they love the NFL talk. And Moose, I got an email from USA Today the other day that had projected records for NFL teams, and I never clicked on it. I still have it here. Maybe in the break I'll go in and look at what the projected wins are, because it's usually been pretty accurate over the years. These guys know what they're doing. Are you looking it up?
I'm just pulling up the Cleveland Browns schedule.
Okay.
You know,
I think they have a difficult schedule from what I understand.
Yeah, I mean, they open the season against the Chiefs, and then they got the Texans and Bears in September. They'll be on the road for 2 in a row to start October against the Vikings, the Chargers. Then they got the Cardinals, Broncos, and Steelers at home, and then it's the Bengals, Patriots, Lions, Ravens to close out November. They play that division, right, with the Cardinals and the Chargers and the Seahawks. You know, they got the Packers, the Raiders, the Ravens in there, obviously. But we're speaking very highly of the Browns. They've got all the pieces. Their defense is very good.
They beat Pittsburgh in a division playoff game last year.
That's right.
Let's not forget. So, I'm sorry, because when you throw all those names around of those teams, it does tend to lose your average Canadian. Right? I'm just saying.
No, it does.
So here's the projected. The Browns are projected to have 10 wins. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I went to the big board, and you can do it too, and typed in projected NFL wins 2021. They got the Cleveland Browns 10. I think they'd take that. Last year they were projected to have 9. What did they win last year? Do you know? You know, Alan? 1 minute.
They had 10 or 11.
I'm just getting going. Okay, let me fly through a sports update. After 2 days without any medals at the Tokyo Games, Andre de Grasse got Canada back on the board with the greatest run of his stellar career. The decorated sprinter finally added Olympic gold to his medal collection, crossing the finish line of the men's 200 meters in a Canadian record time of 19.62 seconds today. Hyun Jin Ryu pitched 7 solid innings in his first start for Toronto on Canadian soil. George Springer and Teoscar Hernandez homered, and the Blue Jays beat Cleveland 7-2 at Rogers Centre. They'll do it again tonight. In Canadian Elite Basketball League play on Tuesday, the Niagara River Lions used an explosive fourth quarter outburst to take a 171 victory over the Hamilton Honey Badgers at the Meridian Centre in Niagara. Tonight, Guelph visits Ottawa, and Fraser Valley is at Edmonton. It's a CEBL doubleheader, y'all. Watch on CEBL Plus, CBC Gem, or Twitch. And Deshaun Watson missed practice for the first time since Houston Texans camp began, but Coach David Culley refused to explain why. Watson's future is uncertain after he asked for a trade in January before 22 women filed lawsuits alleging that he sexually assaulted or harassed them in March. This sports update for the Tap Brew House and drive-through liquor store and for Red Bull Canada. Red Bull gives you wings. We're cooking with gas on this Wednesday. Viewer Takeover next. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV Network, YouTube, and Facebook live streaming and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry. There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day.
The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
Comfort has always been something we as people strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. DDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Send us your opinions now. We won't victimize you unless you really deserve it. Now, back to your host, Rod Pedersen.
Welcome back, everybody. It's the part that we call Viewer Takeover, affectionately. And boy, oh boy, we're in one. Darren just mentioned in the last segment that the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are going to be missing Andrew Harris and Darvin Adams for their game, their season opening game Thursday against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Now, and I thank Darren Cameron, the Bomber PR guy. He sent me their roster, so I clicked on it, and those guys are on the one-game injured list. Now, Alan, the intern, is in the room, and he said the Hamilton Tiger Cats are like, oh, yeah, we'll see your Harris and Adams, and we'll raise you. Who? DeVere Posey, Chris Van Zyl, Ted Laurent, and Brooks.
You say, wait,
is that
Laurent
Simone Lawrence or Ted Laurent? Yeah, Laurent. There's a difference between those two. It's only one letter. I remember.
Lawrence. No.
Yeah, no laughing matter. So here we are. On the eve of the Canadian Football League's Week 1 game, some of the biggest stars will not be playing. Now, I'm sitting there wondering, at least they disclosed that it's a calf injury with Andrew Harris, as they say. I don't know what's going on with these Hamilton players. But here we go. Did we see this in the National Football League last year? I don't recall this. The big stars not playing early on.
No, we did see the odd, COVID protocol guys getting pulled and whatnot, but we didn't see this. But they didn't miss any time.
No.
They haven't missed anything in the NFL, right? They didn't miss a season.
And we're getting paid.
Right.
Darren Workman, watching in Salt Lake City, Utah, says going to need a program in the CFL this year. Yeah, if they printed programs. Craig in Calgary regarding Andre DeGrasse winning gold in the men's 200 meter this morning at the Olympics. Craig in Calgary says, forget whomever won the Stanley Cup or Super Bowl. This is what causes tears of joy to see from me. Seeing a guy I've been watching for 9 years since he was a teen achieve his dream. Amazing. Signed, Craig in Calgary. Ryan, watching on YouTube, says, Rod, remember all the talk of Ben Johnson returning kicks in the CFL? Can we sign DeGrasse to the Elks? You can, but he'll never play. You kids all around here aren't old enough to remember, but our older viewers will. That, Ben Johnson, after he won gold in the 1988 Olympics, that was the Hamilton Tiger Cats. They didn't sign him, but they added him to their negotiation list. And that was all the talk. Ben Johnson, can you imagine? Because, forget about having to cut left, cut right, and dodge tackles and catch a ball. It's so easy. All you got to do is run.
Fast.
Clearly, it was a publicity stunt at the time. And it's just funny that he would say, do I remember that? I do, because there was a lot of hype, but it never happened. Do you think Andre DeGrasse would want to come play in the CFL? Maybe.
Coach.
I shouldn't speak for him.
I can't run fast with those guys in my way.
Exactly.
Right?
Can you clear these guys out of the way? Well, that's kind of the idea, yeah.
That is the idea. But
Ray in the 6 writes in and he says, is there any light at the end of the tunnel? And I know exactly what he means. I feel like, Ray, did we meet in a prior life? This is the guy that sent us a whole bunch of Kitchener Rangers gear.
Mm-hmm.
And heavens knows how much I love junior hockey gear. You know what he's saying? He's talking about COVID.
Yeah.
And all the pitfalls and the pratfalls, and the CFL announcing yesterday that if there's COVID outbreaks, you're going to forfeit the game. And if that particular team isn't 85% vaccinated, the players won't be paid. My gosh. Who ever would have saw this coming? Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, I think Ben Johnson actually had a tryout, didn't he? We're talking, my math's bad, 33 years ago? Yeah. It was like at least 1988 or right after. That's a long time ago.
Oh, yeah.
You folks in Southern Ontario, you let me know if Ben Johnson ever got that tryout, because I don't think that he did. I remember, didn't Carl Lewis race a horse? No, Ben Johnson raced a horse. We'll sort this all out next hour, okay? Second half kickoff for Core Grain coming up on Game Plus.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on on, the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Is it time to take your event online? Bring it to IKS Live. We've got a fully customized virtual event platform with remote guest support for your next fundraiser, talk show, conference, performance, and more. IKS Live offers live streaming to Facebook Live and YouTube and pre-recorded capabilities, both in our studio with green screen available and on location with pre-production and post-production services. Visit us at ikslive.ca.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
Canada versus Sweden for Olympic women's soccer gold. I haven't quite figured this out yet. Friday night, they say, and I'm like, if you think that they're on the same clock, you're going to miss the game.
How about that?
I'm believing it's 2 a.m. Mountain. That's what I'm planning on for this gold medal game. Does that sound right?
That sounds right.
We got 2 days to figure this out. I'm not sure any of us are the brightest bulb in the package, but together, we can light a whole room.
This is the Rod Pedersen Show.
Isn't that something, man?
Yeah.
That should be a Coke commercial somewhere. Welcome. Welcome to hour 2 of the program. It's the Rod Pedersen Show, if you didn't hear. The second half kickoff now brought to you by Core Grain. Core Grain, doing the right thing for your farm. Look them up, follow them on Twitter like I did. Boy, Moose came in here from going for a walk in the break outside RP Show World Headquarters here, and when you came back into the bunker, I was like, I was laughing, and because we're having so much fun. Because this is what happened today. Andre de Grasse won gold. He did for Canada at the Tokyo Games in the 200 men's relay, 200 men's sprint, and he's got a chance to go for more. But it brought up Ben Johnson, 1988, winning gold for Canada. That was in the 100, I believe. And people said, do you remember, Rod, when the Hamilton Tiger Cats looked into signing Ben Johnson? Maybe we could get Andre de Grasse in Edmonton. It was an Elks fan writing us from the City of Champions. And I'm sitting here going, I remember the talk, but I don't even think he ever suited up, let alone showed up at Ivor Wynne Stadium in Hamilton. But I feel like he raced a horse. So everybody's... And I said to Clark in the break, nobody around here is old enough to even remember Ben Johnson and what was going on at that time. So can you folks help me out? Because we're getting a lot of great messages here on the Prairie Mobile text line, 306-840-8777. Prairie Mobile is your authorized SaskTel mobility dealer. And everybody's joined in on the fun here. Pee-wee Smith, Jeff the Stamps fan in Calgary says, Pee-wee Smith raced a horse down at Stampede Park when they still had horse racing. Forget about that. Dan Rashovich, you know Raz?
Yeah.
Rider, Hall of Famer, one of my closest friends. He fought a horse at the Calgary Stampede. Beer might have been involved.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah. Kevin Olenek, watching on YouTube, says he didn't. The steroid scandal happened and no one touched Johnson after that. Not even the horse? Of course.
Of course.
He raced, I'm sure he raced a horse.
Right, Alan, you looked it up? He raced a horse.
Who won? The horse won.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Of course.
What a time to be alive that was.
Spicy.
Very. And then there's breaking news. Are we going to get serious for a second here for Cora Grain in the second half kickoff? And don't worry, Four Seasons Sports Palace, we got them bringing you overtime a little later on. But the CFL season kicks off tomorrow. That is Thursday night in Winnipeg. And now we learned this morning, and this by virtue of the Blue Bombers announcing their roster this morning, that Andrew Harris, their star tailback, has gone on the one-game injured list with a calf injury. One of their best receivers, Darvin Adams, won't play. And what did you say you knew what the injury was? Shoulder. And then the Hamilton Tiger Cats are coming in without Ted Laurent, stud D tackle, Devere Posey, friend of the show, wide receiver. Who else did you say, Alan? Devere Posey, Ted Laurent.
Chris Van Zyl, Canadian offensive lineman.
Yeah. And there was a fourth. Brooks. Carriel Brooks, DB. And it's just,
oh, yeah.
Here we go. And this on the heels of what came down yesterday, the CFL announcing their COVID cancellation policy. And this is very important, I think, for people to know. According to the policy, if a game is canceled due to COVID-19 issues and cannot be rescheduled, the club suffering from the COVID-19 issues will forfeit a 1-0 loss. If both squads have COVID-19 issues, each will forfeit the game and be assigned losses. In either scenario, if a team can prove at least 85% of its players under contract have been vaccinated at least once, the players will receive their salary for the canceled game. If that figure falls below 85%, players won't be paid. It was not clear if coaches would still be paid if a team's vaccination rate fell below 85%, as they are not part of the league's collective bargaining agreement it has with the players. So, holy smokes, stuff just got real.
Yeah.
In the Canadian Football League.
And that's why the 85% matters, right? And there's three teams, which we talked about, the Riders being one of them, reportedly not at 85% fully vaccinated. So it becomes an issue, right? Guys want to get paid, right? But also guys have their own values about whether they want the vaccine or don't want the vaccine. It's a real tough spot. But the league has put out a stance, and I respect them for taking a stance on it.
Oh, I respect the heck out of him. But this is wild the day before the CFL season opener for a lot of reasons, okay? Stick with me. Because our guy Nelson Sakiewicz writes in, our VP of Sim Events, and says, according to CFL.ca, Devere Posey is the only player officially ruled out for the Hamilton Tiger Cats for the game. Where did you get your info, Alan? From who? This kid's a journalism major. We're trying to teach him accuracy counts. You get that, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, it used to. I'm not sure if it still does or not. Eric Thomas is a Ticats fan. He's watching on YouTube right now, and he just writes in Braylon Addison. I'm like, what about him?
He was the other one on that list of injuries.
Okay, well, there's another very important piece for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And by the way, the Hamilton Tiger Cats, I'm just going to say it. They're mad at me because of what I said about Simone Lawrence and that I got Brandon Banks off his game, not even trying 2 days before the Grey Cup. So they won't send me their information and their news releases. They're not sending me their roster. And I said to the guys before the show, I'm not helping the CFL out. Okay? If you're going to send us your info and you want it correct, send it here. And we'll distribute it to the nation on Game Plus TV and through streaming. But I'm not going to sit here and put up with this crap if they're going to act like that and not send us their info. No. What did I say near the end of hour one? Darren Cameron, the PR guy for the Blue Bombers. When I left my rider job, he texted me within a day. What's your new email address? I want to get you our stuff. That's the first-class nature of the Winnipeg Blue Bombers and Darren Cameron. And by the way, who's the reigning Grey Cup champions? Oh, yeah, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Whoa.
What? You found it?
I want to get this to Clark, and maybe we can put it up on the screen. But I'm looking at the CFL here, and Stamps Argo's Week 1 injury report. And here's the Stampeders. Richard Leonard, Chris Odom. It goes down, Richie Sindani. There's a few of them. And I'll show it to you because I can put this on the screen. Yeah. It tells of what DB. Ankle injury, tricep, illness. And Tuesday, did not participate. Wednesday is open. So they're starting to follow the NFL model. So I wonder if all teams are mandated by this yet or not. But this is we're starting to see the needle move in terms of reporting of injuries. And this is on the Score app.
Darren's saying Clark is saying it's not mandated, but teams are doing it voluntarily. I'm not sure I believe that. I believe that it's mandated for all 9 teams, and some teams are probably fighting it. That's what I think.
Yeah.
How about that?
Jennifer from the Four Seasons Sports Palace writes in, she says, spicy. But that's my point. I want to sit here. The easiest thing in the world for me would be to sit in this chair and talk about the CFL 2 hours a day, every day. It would be the easiest thing for me. But if we're not going to get cooperation from the teams, I'm not interested. Because we talked about the NFL last hour with Jim Lang, and this is a league that you talk to Dunk at 3 down. They're like, oh, how many photos did he need to Chase Claypool? Every week they're sending him 3 new ones from the Pittsburgh Steelers. Like, come on, let's get with it here. Yeah. From Nelson, our VP of Sim Events, says all teams are mandated. There are lists for every game on CFL.ca. That's the thing, because I worked in the league for 20 years. This would come down from the head office. You guys need to do this. Some will still fight it.
Yeah, nobody would do this voluntarily.
No. So nobody's doing it. No, not one team would do it voluntarily.
No.
Jeff, the Stamps fan, says the Stampeders have always been honest with injuries. And I don't doubt that for a second. Can't give you any example of where they were lying about it. I mean,
but they would just not give you info. I mean, you'd put the day before the game when the official roster and the injury report comes out, right? Here's your injury report on the 1-game list, the 6-game list. Nobody's ever hidden from that. But now we're going to get detailed reports every single day starting on Tuesday, who played, who didn't, and if they didn't, what's the reason? Non-related, illness, tricep, shoulder, calf. Yeah. What's the reason you didn't play Tuesday? Did you have limited participation Wednesday? And that's how the betting community kind of assesses the odds and what's going to happen. And we're going to start seeing that move a little bit more.
John Hodge from 3downnation.com, friend of this show, tweeting. After confirmation this morning that Braylon Addison, Chris Van Zyl, Ted Laurent, and Adeliki are out. Is that Tundi Adeliki?
I believe so.
Because there's 2 of them, right? He says, I'd put some money on the Blue Bombers here. So if we're talking about betting in the Canadian Football League, this is the kind of stuff that we would like to be talking about on day in, day out.
Yeah.
It's what they're talking about in the National Football League. It's 11-11, by the way, if you were paying attention. Make a wish.
I don't have coffee.
My wish is that there's enough players to play in the Canadian Football League and get through a season. Yeah. Live television. Here we go. And we're in one. From Nelson, our content creator. It's very confusing that we have 2 Nelsons.
I know.
What's a half Nelson?
We had 2 Nelsons. At one point we had 2 Tylers. We've had...
Yeah.
They come in pairs.
He says, as a very frequent sports bettor, this CFL injury reporting is an absolute nightmare for betting. But it's getting better.
Yeah, now it looks like it's going to mirror the NFL, which is perfect. You can go on now, as long as it's clearly, outlined where you're going to be able to find those injury reports and when they're going to be updated on a daily basis. But you don't have as much information early in the week. That's why it's a bit more risky, but you might get better odds. And
by the way, I want to say this. We have a lot of fun with Jeff, the Stamps fan, but I really have nothing against the Calgary Stampeders. They've been very good to me, particularly since I left the Rough Riders. But when that injury thing, I don't know whether they're lying or not. I think they were very, I'm going to assume they aren't. They were very forthcoming with the Bo Levi Mitchell stuff last year. Look at their injuries in training camp this year. Other than Charlie Power snapping his Achilles, there were no real major injuries at Calgary Stampeders camp, compared to other teams. Since John Huffnagel showed up in 2008, what you will hear in CFL circles is that the Calgary Stampeders have never fired a coach. And that's somewhat semantics, because there's been a coach or two, I think, that they didn't renew their contract. But it's that Huff does things by the book, which I respect the hell out of that. And Huff, I love the guy. I do. When I was the Rider guy and he was the Stamps boss, we didn't really love each other. But we did have some pretty good discussions back and forth, because he knew what I was all about and I knew what he was all about. We were still on opposing sides. But how can you argue with what they've done there? And by the way, again, you don't hear any whining coming out of Calgary regarding the fact that Calgary Stampeders are 6th in the power rankings, because they know that doesn't matter. They know that. They know. Somebody said to me, and I can't remember whom, I want to say, I won't out him, but he's like, just the way personalities are. He's like, Chris Jones, if you made him follow the rules, he couldn't do it. It's just not in his DNA. But with John Huffnagel, if you said, you have to run this team by breaking the rules, Huff, he couldn't do it. Like when they came out with that staff limitation and salary cap for coaches, the Stamps were already under it. And they were still the marquee team in the Canadian Football League. My mind's going off that this will make a great Twitter clip. Rod extols the virtues of the Calgary Stampeders. I'm just saying they do it by the book. And their stadium should be sold out based on everything that they've done there. And for whatever reason, it's not. But to go back to these injuries now, I guess they had to put Andrew Harris on the one-game injured list and Darvin Adams. They had to. That's how it came out. But how many reporters, I don't know, are at Bomber practice daily? I don't know. But I just feel like we're Doc and Michael J. Fox in the DeLorean right now. Where we're going, there are no roads. In terms of betting.
Yeah. It's uncharted.
It's a whole new territory for the Canadian Football League.
Yeah. It really is. And it's kind of monumental, to see where it's going to go. Reporting these injuries is step one, right? More information, more talk of numbers of stats, breaking down games, position battles, all of that. Any information that might let somebody have a window into who might have an edge here or there, what the weather might do, all these things that bettors look at, to try and find an edge, because we all think we can predict who's going to win. We really can't. That's why we love sports so much.
Yeah.
But you need more and more and more and more info. And this is a start for the CFL. Long way to go, but they're on the right track. So, yeah, we'll see where this ends up, but it's fun to watch.
Poll question update here for Capital Auto Mall Universal Collision Center. Who should replace Carson Wentz at quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts? Your options are Phillip Rivers, Joe Flacco, Nick Foles, or other. Leading the poll on Twitter is Phillip Rivers, who has said in the last 24 hours he'll come out of retirement. He led the Colts to the playoffs last year. They lost to the Bills, of course. On Twitter, Rivers is leading there. And one of our P1s, Todd Pinkney, has sent me a tweet here from DraftKings. Nick Foles is the favorite to start as the Colts starting quarterback.
And he's not even on the team.
So he's not even on the team. No, he currently plays for the Chicago Bears, by the way. Okay. We'll be back with some very special guests. You're watching the RP Show on the Game Plus television network across all 10 provinces in 31 states. We're streaming on YouTube and Facebook and 24-hour sports radio for Suds full-service car wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
Don't rack your brain trying to source the equipment and materials you need for your business. Rockstar can operate your entire supply chain, from PO creation to expediting your shipments, all from our office. Leverage the buying power of the Rockstar buying group to not only save money and time, but also the headache. From gloves to glue, we can provide it for you. Find out more at rockstar.com.
Does this look familiar? Your fans deserve an incredible arena experience. It's time for an upgrade. Stunning graphics. Revenue opportunities are just the beginning with our in-venue display systems and scoring technology. Let us help you find the best solution for your facility. BDG, always delivering the best fan experience.
Capital is Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership. Whether you're on the market for a new or certified pre-owned vehicle, we got you covered. And when it's time for service work, you can trust our factory-trained technicians who specialize in repairing any make or model. But don't take our word for it. Check out capitalgmc.ca to see how we roll and to learn what other customers are saying about working with us. Your dealership experience should be fun, easy, and transparent. And that's exactly what you'll get when you choose Capital GMC, Regina's trusted GMC Buick Cadillac dealership.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online. UltimateFanZone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. UltimateFanZone.ca. Or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw. Home of everything authentic.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Our parents always taught us about the importance of quality of work and friendly service. And here at Suds Car Wash, we're a family-run business, so it's really important that our customers feel like family.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Bronco Plumbing and Heating, proudly serving Regina and surrounding areas since 1978. We are excited to announce the new Bryant Furnace Trade-in Allowance program. If you have a working Bryant furnace, 15 years old or less, you may be eligible to receive a new furnace at a discounted rate. If you'd like to take advantage of the Bryant Trade-in program, or to hear how we can help improve your home, give us a call today at 306-781-2090.
Laid back and kicking it, let's head back to the studio. Here's Rod.
Welcome back, everybody. Canada's daytime sports talk show continues, and holy smokes, have we got some... We're in one. Cooking with gas today. The CFL season opens tomorrow. Hamilton Ticats will be without two of their top Canadians. Ted Laurent, star defensive tackle. Chris Van Zyl, offensive lineman, will be out. For the Winnipeg Blue Bombers, reigning Grey Cup MVP Andrew Harris won't play. That's because of a calf injury, not COVID. Their leading receiver, Darvin Adams. Here we go. Ticats will also be missing receiver Devere Posey and Braylon Addison. Holy smokes. More on that in a moment. Well, Nick Sakiewicz is no stranger to this program. He's the commissioner of the National Lacrosse League, the president of the Tewarton Lacrosse League, is Lewis Staats, and they're joining us on a three-way call here today, and I'm very much looking forward to the chat. I want to say good day, Commissioner Nick. How are you, sir?
Good, Rod. How are you? Great to be here. Great to see you, Lewis. Great to see you, Lewis.
Yeah.
Good afternoon.
I love that. I can't wait to hear from Lewis, too, and I got to ask you about that surname as well. That's an amazing name for being in sports. Nick, let's jump right into your news, the announcement and your affiliation here with the TLL, and then we'll get into some other business stuff. But what are we talking about here today, Nick?
Yeah, we're talking about the NLL's Grassroots initiatives. You know, we started this about 5 years ago. It's pretty well known that lacrosse throughout North America, Canada, the U.S., and really throughout the world has been a very fragmented sport. Lots of different associations, lots of different governing bodies, lots of youth and professional leagues. And what we're trying to do is pull it all together and get everybody in the same sandbox and supporting each other with an eye to growing the game. And when Lewis and his organization came to us and they shared with us their vision of what they want to do to really help young lacrosse players in that part of Canada, we absolutely want to support that effort. So we're partnering with the Tewarton Lacrosse League to host a combine event. And I don't want to steal Lewis's thunder. I'll let him talk about that. But really, this for the NLL is about supporting really all walks of life in the industry of lacrosse, and really try to be the glue that brings together all these different constituencies that have a passion for the game, looking to grow the game at the grassroots level, and for our league to do whatever we can do to help support those interested in growing the game.
I love it, and congratulations on that. And over to you, Lewis, if you don't mind, can you tell us a little bit about your league, because I'm not as familiar with it, and what has you excited about having your kids aspire to obviously playing in the NLL?
Okay, so our league is a newly formed league. The Tewarton Lacrosse League is from, I guess the seed of it is from a group of individuals here in Ontario that have participated in the Ontario Junior League and Ontario Lacrosse League for many, many years. So we've been involved in that, and from our perspective, we were just looking at an ability to make some change in terms of the playing of the game, what we were doing. As Nick mentioned, a lot of our kids that are playing in the leagues have aspirations for the NLL, and we want to do our very best to make sure that they're ready for that on all levels. So we went out on our own. We forged ahead, like many things. When you start talking about change, change brings reactions, different reactions from different people. The people that are involved in what you want to change really don't like change all that much. So we're working our way through some growing pains with all of that. But ultimately, our goal is to continue to grow the game of lacrosse. And being situated here where I am on the Six Nations of the Grand River First Nation here in Southern Ontario, which is the largest First Nation in Canada population-wise, we have a rich history. The Iroquois people have a rich history in lacrosse, and we understand the deep cultural aspects of the game, but also we understand that we're also here to provide support and education and things like that for our kids to get where they want to go, and in lacrosse, where they want to go is to play in the NLL.
Tell me, Lewis, then about the combine, if you don't mind. What's going to go on there? When is it? Where is it? And what are you hoping to get out of it?
Yeah, so the combine event that we're hosting in conjunction with NLL is going to be held in St. Catharines, Ontario. Again, a local lacrosse hotbed here, or hotbed zone in Southern Ontario, at the Meridian Centre, which is the main arena complex in St. Catharines. It's going to take place on August 21st and 22nd, so a couple of weekends from now. And we're hoping to get 80 players registered to participate in this. So again, it's the idea is it's a showcase event. It's a combine showcase event, and we'll work very closely with the NLL to make sure that we can get together what they would like to see. The plan is we're going to have six games, six scrimmage games between. We're going to divide the 80 players into 4 teams and have scrimmage games over Saturday and Sunday. Give the NLL GMs, coaches, etc. their personnel a chance to look at these kids. Some they haven't seen play lacrosse in 2 years. So we're looking forward to that, excited about that, and just hoping that we can, we can assist these the young lacrosse players that we're talking about here to get to wherever they want to get to, whether it's the NLL, maybe it's school, whatever it is in life. We want to try to help them with our, based on our principles of collaboration, education, and inclusion with our league.
Well, congratulations on this, and I appreciate Lee Genier lining this all up, this interview today, and helping facilitate this. Nick, do you have any more on the combine of this association before I fire a few different things at you?
No, I just want to say great to see you, Lewis. We're excited to be partnering with you, and hopefully this is the start of many great things to come. And we just want to bring the sport of lacrosse together and be as collaborative and inclusive as we possibly can be to support the game.
Awesome. And I got to say this, Nick. So I go to these Rush games, and I'm sitting with my buddies, and I'll never forget one was looking at the program. He's like, these guys are all from lower mainland BC and southern Ontario, right? Like, that's the hotbeds of lacrosse in Canada. You've realized as the commissioner, Canadians love lacrosse, and particularly in those areas, hey?
Oh, yeah, it's serious business in Canada, and it's we're pretty excited about all of that seriousness of box lacrosse dripping down into the United States. There's a lot of young kids here in the U.S. as well that are getting lit up on the game, and our job and our responsibility as the top league in the world, lacrosse league in the world, is to help facilitate that dream and to help make that happen. So it's exciting. It's great to see all those players come from those hotbeds, and yeah, it's serious business, and it's getting bigger.
What does it mean, Lewis? One more for you. The viewers, by the way, are loving your surname, Lewis, Staats. By the way, so am I. I mean, not very common. Perfect name for the president of a sports league. What? Talk about that. That must be a fun conversation starter.
Well, I always correct everybody, Rod, and tell them that I pronounce it Staats, so that keeps me away from that conversation.
Okay, Staats.
Yeah, I mean, again, we're really excited. I mean, my background, like, I've been involved in this league. Like, I have 5 Minto Cup championship rings, like, from our Six Nations Aero Lacrosse program here, and I've also got experience and years in the NLL. I was the president of the Rochester Nighthawks for 7 years prior to Nick joining the league as commissioner. But I was there for the run when from 2012 to 2014 as the president of the Nighthawks when they won the NLL championship 3 years in a row.
Well, I got to say, hey, congratulations, by the way, and I'm glad we got that cleared up. So it's Staats. But I got to ask you, what does it do to the First Nations kids to see the First Nations players? Because we've got a young First Nations hockey player from here by the name of Ethan Bear, just traded from the Edmonton Oilers to the Carolina Hurricanes. And my God, he's from the Ochapowace First Nation. He just gives them something to aspire to, obviously, athletically. Obviously, these pro lacrosse players that have come from First Nations descent are huge symbols of what the youth could achieve.
Exactly, and we have a number of them. I mean, Nick's very familiar with all of the stars and NLL stars that come out of Six Nations and also from the Onondaga Nation in Syracuse. The Thompson brothers, obviously, right now are very well known. You'd know them well too, Rod, with the play that they had out there and with the Rush too. So again, it's funny because when people talk about that, when they come into our community, how you see a lot of kids playing hockey and things in the outdoors, that you always get the comments on here at Six Nation when they're driving around. All they see is lacrosse nets and the little kids, the youngest kids walking around or in the community in their yards. They got lacrosse sticks in their hand, not hockey sticks. So again, it's we just need to continue on that journey. We're going to do whatever we can to continue to grow the game and make it better for everyone involved.
Well, pre-COVID, I drove around this province speaking to communities at a variety of events, and I see kids playing lacrosse out where they were playing baseball or were playing road hockey. Darren's nodding his head. He's seen it too. So it's happening in this province too. So, Nick, I got to ask you this. Las Vegas, when that announcement came out and you please fill me in here. Wayne Gretzky is the only name I'm stuck on, but Dustin Johnson, obviously, and Steve Nash. Whoa, how did you keep that thing under wraps, and how did this come to be?
Yeah, that wasn't easy. We actually had consummated that deal in early January. We worked on it all last year throughout COVID, and even prior to COVID hitting, we had a couple of very interested groups in that marketplace, connected with Wayne in late 2018, early 2019, got this amazing story about Wayne's a love and passion for the sport of lacrosse, and how it heard this great story about how it helped him dramatically in his hockey training and his hockey career, and it was just a wonderful story. So it all came together last year throughout COVID. We were kind of bored; we didn't have anything to do, so we signed up 2 expansion teams, one in Fort Worth, which is starting this year, and then Vegas will start next year. And then we consummated the deal in January. But then Wayne's dad fell ill, and we just didn't think it was appropriate to. He wanted to be involved in the announcement, and we didn't think it would be appropriate to do it at that time. So he had to get through what he had to get through with his dad. God rest his soul, and it was a very important part of his life. And we just delayed it out until June when we made the announcement, and it was a great announcement in Vegas. He's going to be an awesome, very engaged owner in our league. He's partnered with another great Canadian who grew up playing lacrosse in BC, Steve Nash, as well as Dustin Johnson, who's his son-in-law. And then, of course, Joe Ty is their partner as well. So really exciting announcement. Our 15th team. It's over the last 5 years, our franchise values in the NLL have grown by 11.5 times, and we're really proud of that. And it just speaks to what a great investment it is to be in the NLL. It's still early days. We have many more markets to expand into and grow into, and more opportunities for investors to be part of the league. But that was a big one. That's going to go on the NLL timeline as a oh wow moment in the history of the NLL.
I just want to say congratulations again. And I just got up that morning and opened my email, and it was like, because it hadn't leaked. I make so good job on that, because I know how hard that is in sports these days. And Las Vegas just exploding as the sports capital of North America. No longer the entertainment capital and gaming. It is the sports capital right now, too. And I got to mention, too, for your ardent fans, of which I'm one, and we're season ticket holders here, what's the update on this season? On track for December tip-off?
Yeah, very, very much so. December 3rd is opening night, first face-off. We've announced a selection of home games that will be launching. We're deep in the schedule development. We announced a landmark TSN deal. We'll have 20 games of the week on TSN linear television. That'll be the first time ever for the National Lacrosse League, coast to coast in Canada. And then we'll have every single game live streamed on TSN Go, as well as the playoffs and the championship. So broad distribution TV deal with TSN. I'm actually going up there in a couple weeks to visit with our new partners there. They're excited. We're excited about that. And we're also close to a very similar deal here in the United States for the U.S. fans. So, really excited about this upcoming season. We haven't played in a while. We just got to get back to playing lacrosse.
Awesome. Nelson Sakiewicz, one of our viewers, says all the praise to Nick for the TSN TV deal. And that's where the NLL came on my radar, Nick, was in the 90s on TSN. Because I say, if you put it on, we'll watch it. And we did. So it kind of feels like you're going home in that regard. Lewis, congratulations on this and all the great things that you've done. I appreciate the time. And Nick, as always, don't be a stranger, and enjoy the rest of summer and continued success with all these great announcements.
No, I appreciate it. I'm headed up north. I'm headed up north in a couple weeks, and I can't wait.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Nick Sakiewicz, the commissioner of the National Lacrosse League, and Lewis Staats, the president of the Terwatton Lacrosse League. Combine coming up in St. Catharines, Ontario. All good stuff. They don't have a name yet, eh? Moose, for the Las Vegas team. People are writing in with potential names for the Las Vegas Pro franchise. Jason in Red Deer says the Las Vegas Gold. I kind of like it.
It's pretty good.
How about the Las Vegas Rhinos? Sponsored names?
Yeah.
You're a Vegas guy.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Robin, viewer, says the Las Vegas Canucks, paying homage to the owners. How about that? They're all Canadians. When you think about it. Well, Dustin Johnson's not in that ownership group. And by the way, the Indoor Football League with the Las Vegas team is going to be announcing its name in August. That's all I'll say. So there's a lot of interesting things coming down in Sin City. Jason, you saw that, eh? Jason in Red Deer says the Las Vegas Bronze Knights. Golden Knights, Silver Knights, Bronze Knights. Different ownership group, though. Or else I would have said you're on the right track.
Platinum Knights.
Yeah, going up.
Going up.
Okay. We'll have more fun when we come back with this. Jeff Cabillas in Winnipeg says the Las Vegas All In.
How about that?
How about that? Not bad. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says the Las Vegas Caesars. Caesars on special at the concession. For the lacrosse team, because I know what the football team's name's going to be.
Spicy.
Yep. We'll be right back. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, YouTube, and Facebook live streaming and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now. You gotta subscribe. Click the subscribe button for all the content you may have missed.
At Capital Ford Lincoln, we don't just sell vehicles, we buy them too. You know how we always have such a big inventory with an amazing selection? That's because we buy all makes, all models, and all years. We're going to give you the best price every time. And you don't even have to buy from us. All you have to do is visit us online or in-store, answer a few questions about your vehicle, and we'll get you a great offer. We'll even cut you a check on the same day. So save yourself the hassles of selling privately and sell it to us. Because at Capital Ford Lincoln, we'll buy it. Universal Collision Center is Saskatchewan's premier auto body shop. Our extensive process ensures that every vehicle that comes through our state-of-the-art facilities is returned pre-accident condition, and that every UCC customer experience is an easy one. We're certified to repair all makes, all models, and all luxury brands, and Universal Auto Spa offers full-service detailing packages to suit you and your vehicle. Plus, we're the official body shop of your Saskatchewan Rough Riders. Universal Collision Center, 3910 Rochdale Boulevard and 2355 First Avenue in Regina.
At Prairie Mobile, you can get the phone you want when you want. All smartphones are $0 every day. With convenient locations across Saskatchewan, Prairie Mobile, your SaskTel authorized dealer, has you covered. Visit us online at prairiemobile.com.
Some of the challenges we face with the CT technology that we have today is some of the deficiencies in around integration with some of our other systems. The addition of 2 new 4D simulators within the programming of the Saskatchewan Cancer Agency is going to have significant impact on the care we provide to the people of Saskatchewan.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Nestled in the scenic Qu'Appelle Valley, just 20 minutes northwest of Regina, is one of the finest golf courses in all of Saskatchewan, the Deer Valley Golf Club. The clubhouse has a full-service restaurant, and customers can enjoy a casual dining experience with spectacular views of the golf course and valley. A fully stocked golf shop, staffed by PGA of Canada professionals, is equipped to meet all of your golf apparel and equipment needs. Book your tee time, family event, or corporate tournament today at the Deer Valley Golf Club. Call 306-731-1445.
Hey Rod Squad, now you can join the team with your very own RP Show gear. Head to rodpedersenshop.com and get yours today while supplies last. It's just like we wear on the show, official RP Show gear at rodpedersenshop.com.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
Yeah. Welcome back. Time for a sports update. I said to the Moose in the break, If you guys want to go to the two-shot, he's got a Seattle Kraken tracksuit on today. The Saskatchewan Kraken.
The Saskatchewan Kraken?
You should just stitch an S
I
on
should
it.
just put the logo right here.
Can we get a shot of Alan, the intern, on the couch?
Why
just
don't
so
you
people
stand
know.
up and
You
could walk
the
into
camera's
light.
going to try and... Wait a minute. They can't because we're using the
they
camera.
Are. No, they are. Look at
Okay.
it.
There's Alan, the intern, and he's... Do you want to put on the Ricky the Iguana head while we're at it? There you go, Alan. You're on TV. Seattle Kraken shirt. There you guys. Nice work on the remote control there, guys. Do you want to do a dance? You're good. Why don't you go put on the Ricky the Iguana head? Is it here? No, it's at your house? Yeah. Well, that's a great place for it, as my boss used to say all the time. Where's the station vehicle? It's at my house. That's a great place for it.
Really helps us now.
Yeah, really helps us now, doesn't it?
I'm your uncle.
Teasing, but he's all upset. He still hasn't figured out my game yet. He was rubbing his hands together very nervously. That's what Alan does when he's nervous. You didn't know I noticed that, did you? And you turn purple as a turnip.
How about that?
And the more you the more it goes.
We have so much fun around here.
Alan says, speak for yourself.
Right. Mike Blackbird is watching in Toronto, and he says, was nice to see the Argos practice, and I was able to bring Charleston Hughes the jerk chicken he requested on Twitter a couple of weeks ago. Such a nice guy. Argos. Jason in Red Deer says, I have seen reports that the indoor football team in Las Vegas will be called the Vegas Nighthawks. If it's true, I love it. It's not. I can tell you that right now. And the announcement's coming up imminently, so you won't have to wait much longer, but it is not the Las Vegas Nighthawks. Ryan says the Las Vegas Chips would be fun. Not really. But I see Eric Estrada pulling up on a motorcycle with his... You don't even know what that is, do you? It's an old TV show.
Oh, okay.
Police officer on motorcycle cops. I feel so alone around here.
There's a new movie called Chips. Dax Shepard is in it.
Does he play a cop on a motorcycle?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's based on the old
There's
show.
only one Eric Estrada.
I know.
Can you, Clark, Google Eric Estrada? It's Eric with a K. Because I'm big on names, Alan, just so you know, and spelling. He learned
Very
that
well.
the hard way. You want to see me yell for reals. Eric Estrada. Eric with a K, E-S-T-R-A-D-A. E-S-T-R-A-D-A. It's the second you find it, please put it up on the screen. That's what I'm talking about. The Las Vegas Chips. So if you could have a game and bring Eric Estrada in at halftime riding a motorcycle, that would be pretty cool. Now, here we go. James in Borden, Manitoba says, I remember, Rod. Jeff, the Stamps fan. I loved that show. It was a great show. Seems like they're having a tough time finding it. That's Eric Estrada right there. He doesn't have the shades, but you get the picture. There's only one.
I know.
Let's do any other photos of him with his shades on? Because that really makes it.
Oh, yeah.
Canada's Andre de Grasse has raced to a gold medal in the men's 200-meter at the Tokyo Olympics. De Grasse roared to the finish line at a Canadian record time of 19.62 seconds. Americans Kenneth Bednarik took silver, followed by American Noah Lyles. Aaron Brown of Toronto was sixth. Lefty Stephen Motts faces Cleveland righty J.C. Mahia tonight as the Blue Jays try for their sixth win in 7 games since returning to the Rogers Center. Mats is 2-0 with a 1.47 ERA in 3 career games against Cleveland. Toronto bounced back for a 7-2 win last night after dropping the series opener 5-2. Jays have won 4 of 5 since going back to Rogers Center. Let's see it. Clark says they got it. There's an idea. I didn't know they were redoing a Chips.
Just as a movie. It's probably 5 years old now, but there is, and it's not bad.
Oh, there is another Chips?
It's a movie.
See, that's the thing with me with remakes. I'm not big on them. It's never as good as the original.
You won't like it. Somebody who maybe hasn't seen Chips, it was okay. Popcorn flick.
Jeff, the Stamps fan, nailed it. He said, everyone remembers Eric Estrada. No one remembers the other guy. How about that?
How about that?
Max Scherzer makes his Los Angeles Dodgers debut tonight, starting at Dodger Stadium against the Houston Astros. The World Series champions got the 37-year-old ace from Washington in a mega trade on Friday. The 3-time Cy Young Award winner said he would prefer to remain in the National League when he became a free agent after the World Series, but we'll wait to see, or when he becomes a free agent after the World Series, but he's going to wait to see how things play out. Dodgers chasing San Fran in the NL West. Toronto FC continues a busy week against good opposition when it visits the Philadelphia Union tonight. On Sunday, Toronto tied Nashville SC 1-1, and Philadelphia drew the Chicago Fire 1-1. I just feel like soccer has an entirely different vocabulary than the rest of the world.
That's right.
I don't even know what they're saying. I'm just reading it because it's in front of me.
Yeah.
Stay classy, San Diego. This sports update for dubnetwork.ca, your number one source for Western Hockey League breaking news and information. Visit today, dubnetwork.ca. And for Ben Cahoon's G2G protein bars, RP Show viewers get 20% off with the promo code RP Show. Order yours now at g2gbars.ca. And from Mick Gonzalez watching in Toledo, where the RP Show airs on Channel 648 on Game Plus TV, daily on Buckeye Cable. Mick says, just seen ESPN's release of the CFL schedule for U.S. viewers. A few games on the TV side, ESPN2 and ESPN News. Most games on the computer side, ESPN Plus. No pre- or post-game content with the panel. Yes, it's worth the $7 a month to see games. But no pre-post content, just whizzes at Rod Pedersen Show. Let's talk about that when we come back in overtime for the Four Seasons, Kay.
Yeah.
And what's going on with the big news. Blue Bombers and Ticats both significantly undermanned going into their Week 1 showdown Thursday night. You're watching the RP Show on Game Plus TV, Canada's daytime sports talk show, streaming as well on Facebook and YouTube, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
Have you subscribed to the Rod Pedersen Show YouTube channel yet? Head to youtube.com/The Rod Pedersen Show now.
Lot of sun, smoky in the air, that's a lot of pine. Big time, big time, big time, big time.
People donate blood for moments like this.
But there are lots of reasons why Canada's Lifeline needs donors every day.
Like the fact that someone with leukemia can need up to 8 units of blood a week.
Or that donated blood lasts no longer than 42 days.
Or to help new moms and babies, like Henry.
There's lots of reasons to donate blood. That's why we need donors every day. The need for blood is constant. Join Toyota and our Toyota dealers in supporting Canada's Lifeline.
We started Suds Car Wash in 2003.
There's a bit of us in every part of the business. I've been working here since I was about 10 years old. Hard to believe it's been 12 years since. Working with my family has been great. My mom and dad have taught us the importance of hard work. I've been here since I was 10 years old, and my dad has taught me a lot about quality work.
From all of us at Suds Car Wash, we make your car shine.
Comfort has always been something we, as people, strive for. It means that the places we live and work, and that the people we care most about, are able to go about their lives, focusing on the things that matter. Our focus at FlameTech has remained the same for more than 20 years. Now more than ever, we need each other to support our local businesses. As an industry leader in combustion services, we are proud to attend to the needs of our communities and support the local economy.
In today's fast-paced world, we know you don't always have time to cook a nutritious meal. The Mad Greek in Moose Jaw's got you covered with delicious takeout and delivery specials, even for large groups or occasions. Authentic Greek cuisine, pizza, ribs, and more. There's something for everyone to enjoy. Offering licensed dining, delivery, and their takeout window is open to get your Greek to go. For more information and to view the online menu, visit themadgreekeatery.com.
Ultimate Fan Zone. Shop online, ultimatefanzone.ca. Slick, user-friendly. We built this site for the die-hard sports fans. Jerseys, hats, team apparel, offering officially licensed fan gear from the best lines in sports. Nike, New Era, Adidas, Fanatics. Game day ready to your door. Now, just a click away. ultimatefanzone.ca or check us out on Facebook and Instagram. UFC Downtown Moose Jaw, home of everything authentic.
Here's how your business can be a part of Canada's fastest growing sports talk show. All you have to do is contact us, and we will tell you all about the dynamic and exciting marketing opportunities we have, utilizing a fully integrated 360-degree multi-platform. Imagine your business seen and heard across Canada on Game Plus TV and around the world on the Rod Pedersen Digital Network. You will use one of the most overused expressions in sports. You gotta be kidding me. Get your business involved. Contact the Rod Pedersen Show today.
You got something to say? You want to add to the show? What are you waiting for? Don't just sit there. Say something. Now, back to the studio with Rod.
Okay, welcome back, everybody. Hey, do us a favor and give us a follow on Instagram. Look at us both looking at our phones. Welcome to 2021. We're talking but not looking at each other. We got a new follower here, Jersey House Canada. Proudly Canadian, worldwide shipping. How about that?
Cool.
How about that?
They got quite a few followers, too. Give us a follow at The Rod Pedersen Show. This is Overtime. It's brought to you by the Four Seasons Sports Palace, your home for the Seattle Kraken fan club and the UFC. And you're starting to see Kraken stuff around. Alan, the intern, who's wearing his T-shirt today. We got a jersey out in the lobby. What brought that all up? I don't know why we started talking about the Kraken today.
I know, right?
Doesn't matter. And before we get to the viewer comments, we've struck a real chord here between what will be the name of the Las Vegas lacrosse team. It hasn't been unveiled yet. And also Eric Estrada and the television show Chips. We found out the other guy's name was Larry Wilcox. For $10 billion, I couldn't have told you what his name is. But anyways, everybody's trolling the Dallas Cowboys, America's team. 5 Super Bowls, 6 this year. Everybody's making fun of the Dallas Cowboys. And I turned to Darren and I said, is that what it feels like to be a Leaf fan? And you think that it does?
Yeah, it's pretty similar. Two teams that have a really strong brand, a big fan base, good history, but recent history hasn't been so good in terms of championships, right? Obviously, the Cowboys a little bit more recent than the Leafs, but both teams that are, for the most part, pretty competitive. They've got money to spend and are also widely hated. As much as they have huge fan bases and they're both loved, they're also wildly hated. There's a lot of parallels where you dissect those teams inside and out.
Yes. Yeah. But are you like us in Cowboys Nation? We don't care. I feel like you guys get really miffed when the Leafs get mocked. We don't care. It's like, just shut up and let us watch the Cowboys.
Yeah, you know what's happening. You know you're going to be on in prime time. You know you're going to get the great television.
Right.
So it's just like when the fan base is that big, you just can't stop the momentum, right? And that's building a brand.
I'll never forget the first time I watched the Dallas Cowboys live. It was in Phoenix. And the guy that I had coffee with yesterday, Derek the Duke Myers, I was standing with him. He's also a Cowboys fan. We were in Glendale, Arizona, okay? It was a road game, and the crowd was 70% Cowboys fans. And they came out for warm-up, Darren, and the public address announcer at the time, University of Phoenix Stadium was, ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboys. I dropped to one knee. Here they are. Do you know what I mean? He brings that up all the time. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas Cowboys. I feel like not every stadium announces the opposition when they come onto the ice or the field.
Right.
Well, they did in Phoenix, and the place went nuts. And, of course, we blew it in overtime when Jason Garrett iced his own kicker.
I remember.
Remember that game?
I do.
Myers ripped off his Deion Sanders jersey and threw it like 30 rows down. Security guard literally picked it up and walked it back. Here you go, sir. He's like, I don't want it. So mad.
Oh.
The life of a Dallas Cowboys fan.
No kidding.
The life of a Dallas Cowboys fan.
But those little things matter. So much, prestige in the organization, and it's like the Dallas Cowboys. And you kind of have that feeling, right? I mean, as a Leaf fan, I had that feeling walking into a grocery store in Toronto.
Serious?
Because it used to be the old stadium, the old Maple Leaf Gardens, right?
Yeah. That Dallas Cowboys.
Those things matter. It's just like, yeah.
Todd Pinkney tells me that what got us talking about the Kraken was your tracksuit.
That's right.
Alan, the intern, has an idea for the team name of the new... Look at him just giggling over there. This is his idea. The Vegas Strippers. They will strip the competition. There is a... Look at him. Look at him. He's going to combust over there. There's a rec hockey team in Estevan known as the Strippers. From Troy in Toronto, it says, I don't see the Leafs as Canada's team anymore, but being a native Torontonian, I really don't care who hates us. We hate ourselves for being Leaf fans. That's the thing. I don't get the Cowboy stuff. It's like, why? It's like Stephen A. Smith. I'm like, it's getting old, Stephen A. It's getting old. Before we run, a couple things. One, I wanted to read this. Cam Dickey watching on Vancouver Island. He goes, actually, there were a ton of injuries early in the NFL season. In 2020, my buddy works for Pro Football Focus. He's going to run the numbers, and I'll get them to you guys as soon as possible. Thanks, Cam. Appreciate that. From the 647, Toronto says, great having the full show back. That hour when the power went off was the longest day of my life. Sorry about that. Metal Shingle guy wants to know what the Listen Live feed. These guys got it up and running today. It was a little late to the party. He says, we didn't see eye to eye. LOL. That's the line from The Rock, why he had to break up with a girl that was cross-eyed. He didn't see eye to eye. His line, not mine. Don't at me. Mandy in Edmonton says about the when did the final cuts have to be made in the CFL? It was last week. So there's some injuries going on in the CFL that they're going to have to cover for here in the next 24, 48 hours. And you wanted to face off on, let's do it real quickly. Sure. We have less than a minute. I would love everybody's participation in this. We got a minute, Darren, now less. What is the winner at the Olympics? Who has the most medals or who has the most gold medals? And to me, I frankly have always thought it's whoever has the most medals. Why do they not have? That's why they have the count. They have the count of both. I understand that. But I say it's the most medals. You don't.
No, it's whoever has the most gold medals. I count that. That's how many events we've won. We won the most events. We'll finish second and third. If you're not first,
you're last. Shake and bake.
Shake and bake, baby.
Tomorrow, it's our CFL preview show. In studio, Nick Lewis. On the phone, Davis Sanchez and Doug Brown. Can't wait. We'll see you at noon Eastern right here on Game Plus TV. Truth's in the coffee. It's Truth Serum.